The air crackled with tension, a palpable energy that seemed to vibrate through the very ground they stood on. It was the kind of tension that only comes when the stakes are sky high, and everyone knows it. 6 pairs of eyes focused on the screen, each set filled with a mix of determination and anxiety. The screen was their window into the mission, a digital map of their fate. Images flickered, gold bars stacked high, a train thundering across a vast landscape, faces etched with ruthless ambition. These were not just images, they were symbols of what lay ahead, the challenges and the rewards.
"The Gold Express," he muttered, his voice low and dangerous, as if the very name carried a curse. It was a name that had haunted their briefings, a name that promised both peril and profit. He ran a hand over his close-cropped hair, a nervous habit he couldn't shake, even after years in the field. "Our mission, intercept it! Retrieve the cargo!" The words hung in the air, heavy with the weight of responsibility.
Across the table, Agent Farzana Khan, her expression unreadable, meticulously cleaned her Glock. Each movement was precise, almost ritualistic, a testament to her focus and discipline. She was the team's sharpshooter, and her weapon was an extension of herself. Beside her, the imposing figure of Agent Albert King, ex-Special Forces, remained stoic, his gaze fixed on the screen. His presence was a pillar of strength for the team, a reminder of the military precision they needed to execute this mission. David Jones, the tech whiz of the group, tapped away at his laptop, his fingers a blur of motion. He was the brain behind the operation, the one who could hack into any system and retrieve any data. His skills were indispensable.
"Intel suggests they're moving a fortune, Tony," he said, his voice tinged with urgency. "The kind of fortune that could change the balance of power in the world. Enough to destabilize entire economies," he added, the gravity of the situation sinking in. This was not just a mission, it was a battle for global stability.
Josie Jackson, sharp and quick-witted, leaned forward. Her eyes sparkled with intelligence and curiosity. She was the strategist, the one who could see the bigger picture and plan 10 steps ahead.
"And the players?" she asked, her voice cutting through the tension like a knife. She needed to know who they were up against, the faces behind the syndicate.
John Kibet, his face a mask of quiet intensity, spoke for the first time. He was the leader, the one who bore the ultimate responsibility. His words were measured, each one carrying the weight of his experience and authority.
"A syndicate," he said, his voice filled with disdain. "A shadowy organization that thrived on chaos and corruption. Ruthless, well-connected, and utterly without mercy," he continued. "These were not just adversaries, they were predators, and the team was stepping into their territory."
The briefing continued, each detail meticulously laid out. They discussed routes, aliases, and contingency plans. Every possible scenario was considered, every risk weighed. Details were etched into their memories, routes, aliases, contingency plans. They knew that any mistake could be fatal, not just for them, but for countless others. The weight of the mission settled upon them, heavy and inescapable. It was a burden they had chosen to bear, a responsibility they could not shirk. They were the last line of defense against a global threat. Their success or failure would ripple across the world, affecting millions of lives. Failure was not an option. They had trained for this, prepared for every eventuality. Now, it was time to act. The world was watching, and they would not let it down. The Orient Express. A name synonymous with luxury, romance, and now high-stakes espionage. The train, with its opulent carriages and storied history, had seen many things. But this mission was unlike any other. The team had meticulously planned every detail, knowing that one misstep could mean the difference between success and failure. The team boarded separately, blending seamlessly into the tapestry of travelers. Each member had a role to play, a cover to maintain. They moved with the practiced ease of seasoned operatives, their eyes scanning the crowd for any sign of danger. Tony, disguised as an art connoisseur, observed a group of men speaking in hushed tones. His keen eyes took in every detail, from the cut of their suits to the way they held themselves. He knew that these men were not ordinary passengers, they were part of the syndicate, a shadowy organization with its fingers in many pies. Their eyes, hard and calculating, followed the movement of every steward, every passenger. The syndicate. They were here for the same reason as the team: the gold. Hidden somewhere on this train was a fortune in gold bars, and both sides were determined to find it first. Farzana, her cover as a renowned author, sat in the dining car, her pen gliding across her notepad. She wrote with the ease of someone who had done this 1,000 times before, but her mind was focused on the mission. She listened to the conversations around her, picking up snippets of information that could prove useful, but her eyes, sharp as a hawk's, missed nothing. She noticed the way the waiters moved, the way the passengers interacted. Every detail was a potential clue, and she was determined to miss none of them. She caught the glint of a hidden weapon beneath a silk scarf, the subtle exchange of a briefcase. These were the signs she had been trained to look for, the indicators that something was amiss. She made a mental note of the individuals involved, knowing that they would need to be watched closely. David, posing as a nervous businessman, hunched over his laptop in the lounge car. His fingers moved quickly, but his eyes were constantly darting around, taking in his surroundings. He was the team's tech expert, and his job was to infiltrate the train's security system. His fingers danced across the keyboard, infiltrating the train's security system, searching for clues, for any sign of the gold. Days blurred into nights as he worked tirelessly, his mind focused on the task at hand. He knew that the syndicate would be doing the same, and he had to stay one step ahead. The landscape outside shifted from rolling hills to arid plains as the train sped eastward, towards the rising sun. The changing scenery was a stark contrast to the tension inside the train, where every moment was fraught with danger. The team knew that they were running out of time and the pressure was mounting. The tension within the train, however, remained constant, a palpable entity that hung heavy in the air. Every passenger seemed to sense that something was not right, and the atmosphere was thick with unease. The team could feel the weight of their mission pressing down on them, but they knew that they had to stay focused. The prize was within reach, and they could not afford to fail. Panic flared like a brush fire. Josie was gone. 1 minute she was there, exchanging coded messages with David from her position in the observation car. The next, she had vanished.
"Sweep the train!" Tony barked, his voice tight with urgency. "Find her!"
They searched everywhere. Every compartment, every luggage hold, every inch of the moving fortress was scrutinized, but Josie had disappeared without a trace. David, his face pale, frantically tried to access the train's security footage. Static. The cameras in the observation car had been disabled. Someone had planned this. A chilling realization dawned on Tony. This wasn't about the gold anymore. This was personal. The train rattled on, oblivious to the drama unfolding within its steel belly. The rhythmic clatter of the wheels on the tracks was a stark contrast to the tension simmering inside. Passengers were unaware of the storm brewing in the heart of the train, where secrets and whispers collided in a dangerous dance. Tony, his gut churning with a sickening dread, contacted HQ. His hands trembled as he dialed the number, each ring echoing his growing anxiety. The line connected, and he could barely keep his voice steady.
"Josie's been taken," he reported, his voice raw with emotion. The words felt heavy, laden with fear and desperation. He could hear the urgency in the response from the other end, a flurry of activity as the gravity of the situation sank in. "We have a possible abduction." The words sent a chill through the air, a stark reminder of the danger they were up against. The authorities sprang into action, their faces set with determination.
The response was immediate. Satellite surveillance was redirected, intelligence networks activated, every resource was mobilized, a testament to the urgency of the mission. The control room buzzed with activity, screens flickering with data and images. The search for Josie Jackson became their top priority. Her face, now plastered on missing person posters, haunted their every move. The team huddled around a map, plotting their next steps with grim determination. David, his fingers flying across the keyboard, intercepted a coded message. His eyes scanned the screen, deciphering the cryptic text with practiced ease. The message was a puzzle, each piece crucial to finding Josie. It wasn't from the syndicate. The realization hit him like a bolt of lightning. The message was different, its origin unexpected. He leaned back, his mind racing to make sense of the new information. It was from ASIO, the Australian Secret Intelligence Service. The revelation added a new layer of complexity to the case. Why would ASIO be involved? What did they know about Josie that no one else did? The pieces clicked into place. The connection between Josie and ASIO was undeniable. It was a breakthrough, but it also raised more questions. What was Josie's past? What secrets was she hiding? Josie's past, her connection to a case involving ASIO, it all made sense now. The old case files long forgotten held the key. The photograph in his hand was a stark reminder of the shadows that lingered in her past. She had been a target all along. The realization was chilling. the shadowy figure in the alleyway, the nervous glances over her shoulder, it all pointed to one thing. Josie was in danger and time was running out.